I want to see you down at the armory. Straight, soldier.
I have many solutions, but none for your problems. If I look at you.
We route all disruptive influences.
Is a fellow subject lacking
The Protectorate have the entrance to the archive well fortified. Attacking straight on seems ill-advised. Before we go further, should we discuss a plan?
Not a bad start, but we should consider calling down backup too. Many hands make for light, slaughter.
Don't risk falling prey to imperfect thoughts. Go now.
Prudence dictates.
Maybe you weren't listening, but we've heard repeated reports of that bridge being an absolute meat grinder. I'm counting turrets, heavy infantry, at least one automech, effectively the works. I seriously recommend discussing alternate plans.
Vigilant. We must all fulfill our duty to
Well, we took Spyreton for them. If we can find a stealthy way to the Spyreton lift controls on this side, we can call them to send down troops.
Prudence dictates. We cherish all we have and defend it.
Happily.
Our enemies envy our prosperity, disdain our sense of community. They sneer at our contentment.
Prudence dictates. We reject individualism in all its many forms.
Preserve set progress. Sustain the system. Gray gone astray.
Trust the plan. Preserve set progress. Sustain the system. Serve the sovereign.
Got troublemakers.
Remember, prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the Consul. The Consul provides, the system abides. Prudence dictates. We route all destructive influences.
Is a fellow appropriate deal for their assigned work? Report them for mental refreshment post-haste. It's not just a good idea, it's the law. Feeling distracted? Mental refreshment centers are there to help you. Don't risk falling prey to imperfect thoughts.
Prudence dictates. We repel invasive enemies. Prudence dictates. We cherish all we have and defend it.
Efficiency at all times.
Our enemies Remember those rejected grapple craft materials that got shipped here? I sold them to a protector.
Console provides, system abides.
I promise you this is really tomfoolery. There's no way we were eating failed experimental material.
New rule. No anti-choice brand comestibles on board the Incognito.
Yeah.
Stranded on a hostile planet, day 35. Brought to you by the frigid cold and voracious wild.
Name's Hoyt, right? I've noted some right sophisticated interactions among the Krabbels lately. Intricate courtship rituals, coordinated group efforts, all about thermal transfer. When my unit was first stationed down here, I kept making excuses to sneak off and observe them. Product research, I said. Very hush-hush. Eventually gave my lieutenant a field promotion and ordered them all away. Been living off the land here like the Krabbels ever since. Their unfertilized roe actually makes for some good eating. Included some with this message. Eat up.
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just say when. Looks like the cavalry just rolled in.
For the Inquisitor! Activating energy transmitter. Batten scan. Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
Happy to assist in crafting more ammo, if you need.
Have a fix on those pieces.
Sign work. Report them for mental refreshment post-haste. It's not just a good idea, it's the law. Feeling distracted? Anything on the job? Mental refreshment centers are there to help you. Always falling prey to imperfect thoughts? Go now.
Invasive elements.
You are the raw material for perfection. Subject to the most exalted vigilance. All fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. With all that is together.
always dreamt of coming here.
What was in those rations? Oh, will this gastric nightmare never cease? Oh. Just a moment. No need for violence. I yield. I am the Archive's current operator. As such, I am the bearer of the, Calcaduceus. I still have trouble saying that. Certainly. I recognize I am in no position to bargain, despite the fact it will no doubt earn me mental refreshment at best. If you have cleared our fortifications outside, I worry what has happened to our troops. I have little interest in sharing their fate. I would pass the Calcaduceus on to you, in exchange for granting me safe passage. The Archive would then recognize you as its operator. All right. I am providing you the Calcaduceus. Don't shoot. Here, you are now operator of the Archive. Congratulate. Is there a protectorate curativist in the house? I feel rather woogly.
Calcaduceus detected. Alternative operator postulated. Concluded. Organizing replacement. Greetings, sentient.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Archive. I am ENIAC, the Universal Equation Numeric Integration Analytic Calculator. With the aid of my operator, I, a non-sentient inorganism, marshal vast computational resources across the moon of Cloister. That, I fear, would be a misleading choice of words, as it implies a form of sentience or cognition. Applied statistics might be functionally more apt. My express programmatical purpose is to aid humanity's advancement to optimize profits, i.e. gain over expenditure, to maximize the needs of our society above others, to attract the most consumers.
A little percussive maintenance might not be out of place here. I've got a wrench might do some good.
Beg your pardon. How may I best facilitate your efforts? Due to incomplete reprogramming efforts by differing operators, I am experiencing sporadic fluctuations in my emphasized categorical imperatives. Tonality and cadence weightings within my communication protocols are likewise similarly affected.
In layman's terms, we're experiencing a distinct difference in opinion.
Caused by intermittently vacillating fundamental shifts in priorities.
What approximates its mind has become trifurcated.
One would assume that calamity enough. But wait, there's more.
Calculatory processing presently hovers around 49.7% capacity due to internecine conflict, misuse, and a lack of technical prowess by recent operators and their associates. Perusing contents. Anatomizing diversiform particulars. Concatenating manifold integrants. Cursory assessment complete. An impressive accumulation of rift data. Similar in composition, though decidedly not in scope, to that provided by the Protectorate.
Information with the potential to offer unique commercial opportunities to those who wield it.
But why simply huck goods better, when such a bounty could be used to flawlessly regulate societal harmony, oversight, and means of production? What is the aim of your query? The previous operator, Assessor Ostergaard of the Protectorate, pursued a like query 1 year, 6 days ago, though the amount you've provided is several orders of magnitude larger. To perform similar calculations of larger scale at current suboptimal levels of functionality would require
25.7 years, and any job over 2 decades is billed by the hour.
In order to improve calculatory processing of rift data in a timely manner, repairs must be made to address the damage done by Protectorate and Anti's Choice operators. I am unlocking access to the Underlands, the subterranean cave network below. It houses 2 key external systems, cold storage and thermal transfer. Cold storage will require servicing before you may retrieve the punch cards needed for processing. Repairing thermal transfer is technically optional, but rather advised. If you fail to restore it, the archive and I may melt down later while running your calculations.
Why is that optional? Our continued existence should be a paramount concern.
When active, the archive generates an enormous amount of heat. Normally, it is dispersed by pumping water between the vast ocean below Cloister's exterior and a surface reservoir. I can process the rift data without its repair, but irreparable damage is likely. Yet, with thermal transfer presently idle, a contingent of crapples have made the area a nursery. Drastic changes to heating levels may endanger it.
Who cares about a herd of pea-brained, ill-humored, oversized crustaceans? There are too many as it is.
A job worth doing's worth doing right. Besides, I can't imagine the presiding bishop being best pleased by us irreparably damaging the archive.
Return later to discuss the remaining subsystem work. And soon, everything will be running like clockwork.
Have a profitable day! In lieu of my transactional mindset, I'm unsealed one of the display cases in the central entranceway. The Sears Cerebellum Protector is now yours.
fire. This one looks friendly. Watch yourself.
My scouts reported significant activity in the archive, followed by a mysterious figure emerging from it, which was obviously you. A notion that fills me with questions. So many, in fact, that I have precious little idea on where to start in the asking. I don't suppose you would care to enlighten me as a beginning to our discourse? You took the archive? On your own? That's quite a feat. Even after combining our forces, we've been unable to accomplish anything close to that. My name is Provost Finch, and I've been appointed as leader of this motley band. Correct. At first, we were antagonists, warring against each other and the Protectorate. But then the Protectorate locked the lifts and doors, trapping us all beneath the ice. With no escape or access to resupply, continuing to kill each other made scant sense. So, I reached out to their commander under a flag of truce and suggested a temporary alliance. We would pool our food, warmth, and resources while here, and could go back to killing each other if and when we make it to the surface again. Over a month, and we made peace about a week later. I held off a bit, needing to really take stock of the direness before making my offer. Unbeknownst to us simple combat shivers, there was a master switch that managed the breakers, controlling power to the lifts and exterior doors. As they began to lose ground, the Protectorate garrisoned automechs, flipped the switch, retreated into the foundational buildings, and locked them from the inside. Of course, all we have to do is fight our way into the breaker room and turn the lift and door access back on. But we've lost dozens in that attempt. Now, we wait, having calculated that the odds of rescue being greater than our chances of successfully assaulting those defending automechs with ever-diminishing resources. Thank you, stranger. Perhaps it's just my desperation speaking, but since you somehow made it down here, placing my faith in you seems like a preordained outcome. Good luck.
Of course nobody's gonna... Well, look at that. A fresh face means fresh goods. Or maybe fresh bits. And either is fine by me. I'm sure one way or another, we can strike some kind of deal. Of course nobody's gonna see it, that's not the point. I just don't feel like a human being if my back's not shaved clean.
Welcome to our misbegotten little camp. Pardon any blood or sick you might spot. Our janitorial tech died of ague a fortnight past. I'm the volunteer Sawbones here. Say, wandering type like you probably knows a bit about medicine. I hope. Maybe a tad more accurate to say my knowledge is all gaps. When I said I was volunteer Sawbones, I meant volunteered. As in, I took half of one medic training seminar once, which makes me barely more qualified than everyone else. I'm on the lookout for a medicine sachet, but I can't leave the folk here. I ask if you had the know-how, because I need someone who can identify it proper. If it's anywhere, it's going to be over in the storage building. Some other Auntie's Choice folk took the place over, and they're about as keen on sharing as I am on being a Sawbones. But I'm sure they're the only danger you'll face. Aside from the man-eating ursopods, bitter cold, precarious pits, and occasional landmines. Good luck.
Of course nobody's gonna see it, that's not the point. I just don't feel like a human being if my back's not shaved clean.
So, you want me to take off your top and lather you with cold water just to cure your vanity?
Of course not, that's idiotic. I just want you to say you feel sorry.
I'll take care of him, Commander.
Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Energy transmitter active. Check your scopes for combatant analysis. Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Investigating target analyzed. Lay down fire. Yeah. Yeah. Resorting to violence.
Guns cocked and loaded. Just give the signal.
Proceeding to attack. Check your scopes for combatant analysis. Energy transmitter out. Soak up the shock.
Caduceus detected. You are clear to enter thermal transfer. Be advised that an anti-choice field
hostilities are afoot. Activating energy transmitter. Vacuum scan. Protectorate engineers. Reckon they didn't repair much. Mobilizing.
Ready to waste them. On your command.
Sitting up high and right. Pump mechanism needs repair. Any tools lying around? Proceeding to attack. Transmitter down over here. I have a fix on their weaknesses. I'll handle this. Stun weapon ready, Commander. Combatant scanned. Energy transmitter deployed for battlefield recharging. Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Mobilize. Resorting to violence. Activating energy transmitter. Torpificator at ready status. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. I have a fix on their weaknesses.
Manual told me everything I needed to know about regulation of the Archive's temperature flow. Now my Crabbles are adapting to the warm waters. Such a pity that the Archive and the Crabbles cannot coexist in the same ecosystem. But the Crabbles need me. That babbling terminal can look after itself.
Looks like it needs a fuse. A specific kind. Investigating hostile intentions.
Schermerhorn, my new neighbor, is an odd fellow. Fancies himself a man of the wilderness. He took the control board for the Spirakin lift, so I know he's tech-savvy. Just not so savvy. Hopefully he appreciates the care packages I sent through the vacuum tube. He'd be long gone without them.
transfer is fully operational. Later, when I process your data, I will not melt down. Please proceed to cold storage to re-enable punch card retrieval.
On their weak. Activating energy transmitter. Do try to limit further damage, Commander. Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
What in the name of Auntie's anti-hallucinatory ammonia drops? Who are you? What are you doing here? Moved aside? You started talking to... You know what? Never mind. Being trapped down here has taken a toll on us all. You? Just you? You realize we lost a lot of lives trying to take the Ascension Conduit Control Building. Huh. Point taken. Well, good luck to you then. I wish I had something to offer you, but we've run out of basically every kind of supply, and there's no store down here to buy more.
Yeah.
Take the heat off you, Commander. Just say win. Fastest way forward is through! That's a bad company.
Mutant scan.
Take him out! Let's dispense with the how do you do's.
Adversary vulnerability identified. Energy transmitter deployed for battleship recharging. Check your scopes for combatant analysis. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Activating energy transmitter.
Switch. Confirmed. Plasma tolerance.
Why did Providence show us no indication of how this doomed equation would balance? We tried our modest best to make it to the console and reset the lifts and doors, but it went as well as asking a feeble-minded simpleton to solve for Webb's theory of everything. We knew the projectors.
The idea is to kill them before you die.
We knew they would have them stationed in grotesque numbers, but our scouts failed us by at least a factor of 10. We're attempting to retreat and rally reinforcements, but I fear that's little more than wishful thinking. There's only 3 of us left, and it seems likely that...
Quite the example of entropy at work, and a disgusting one at that. Certainly, the Ursa pod ceased generating body heat the moment it expired.
Do not shoot. It's not one of ours. Watch yourself. You came from the outside. Does that mean we can finally escape? In earnest? That is the most wondrous and least expected turn of events the equation could produce. That means we should soon be leaving this nightmare behind us. Thank you, stranger. You've saved many lives this day.
The lifts are once again working. I honestly cannot imagine how you've managed such a feat, but on behalf of us all, I am truly grateful. As soon as we finish gathering supplies and rallying together, we'll be returning to the surface. I wonder if this truce will hold or melt in the sunlight.
Grave dudes, I guess.
Who are you kidding? If you ain't cutthroat enough to turn the big profits, you ain't cutthroat enough to try anything on me.
Really? You think that's the right tone to take? And selling out your partners, but you're a terrible negotiator.
I don't care what you threaten me with. Not only am I smart for taking these supplies, but I'm following Auntie's laws. When scarcity begins closing its fist,
is the perfect time for aggressive capitalists. Buy cheap, hold long, and sell high, and you'll maximize your profits. Don't quote Auntie's laws of dystopian disruption to me. I'm the one who taught you those damn laws, and I hardly imagine she meant to apply them when it is literally a matter of our life or death.
Whoa, who are you? How'd you get past the landmines?
There's rifts down the hall. Is that what you're asking about? We did see some upper shelf pharmaceuticals on, the upper shelves. But I think the rifts have claimed them. We've been told to stay the hell away from those things, and that's exactly what we've done.
Now, will there be anything else? Or can we finish our argument in peace?
There's no need to be rude just because I discovered you're swindling. I caught this one hoarding supplies, despite agreeing that there'd be better profit to be had if we pool everything we've got. Ever since the lifts locked down, this pile of sprat excrement has been sneaking off at night to move some of our shared inventory into a little bonus stash only they know about.
You're only mad you didn't think to do it first. The fact that I'm the most up-and-coming go-getter is what's getting you steamed. Admit it. You're jealous.
Why would I be? Once I cram your cold body into a vacuum tube, I'm taking all your stuff.
Of course! I'm doing what is smart and profitable under Auntie's laws, and I'll be damned if you two idiots will dissuade me. We do? I mean, of course, you're right. I'm sorry. But I saw a chance to get ahead. And Auntie always demands we take those chances when we see them.
I get it. Of course I thought about it, but I knew it'd be a mistake. And now, thanks to that foresight, my profits will go further since I'm not splitting them.
But I'm living up to Auntie's principles. We all know we should deeply gouge to create future earnings. Don't be bitter just because I'm the one who actually did it.
I guess you chose to swindle the wrong tube tech.
Let's rock! Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
Well, thank you for your help. Or for letting me solve this. I'm not sure who did the killing and who didn't. There's rifts down the hall. Is that what you're asking about? We did see some upper shelf. We've been told.
Watch your vitals!
Hope you get the medicine soon. Whenever I change a bandage, I end up spilling more blood than I staunch. Something's wrong with it? Let me see. What in blazes is this? Even I know not to give this to my patients. Law only knows what it would do. Then I can only hope my medical skills are up to the task. Thanks for going on that wild sprat chase for me. Here's your pay. Rest assured, I'll do everything I can to help. Save giving these folks rifted medicaments.
Every one of my 14 occupationally honed threat-detecting instincts is screaming for caution right now.
Let's skip the diplomacy.
have a fix.
How are you still upright over there?
Energy transmitter destroyed for battlefield recharging.
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just say when.
Analyzed. Lay down fire.
Stun weapon ready, Commander.
Combat. Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
Threat assessments confirmed.
Causation is... Yeah.
Let's get them over with!
My hypothesis.
Re-engaging.
Another new face, glorious. It is so cold, my fingers appear to be in rigor. I've not slept in 3 days, and I've any number of high-risk patients in need of tending. I trust you'll pardon my brusque manner. You've something of import to discuss, I gather? Well, the answer is doubtful given the scarcity we're experiencing, but I suppose it won't hurt to try and barter.
Can't have our fearless leader firing on empty. Let's get the...
Is the pain of this wound making me hallucinate? Or are you the unforeseen interloper my scouts have been speaking of? Nobody is sure where you came from, though everyone agrees you were not down here when the doors sealed, and watching you move through these caves is quite the sight to behold. You what? On your own? We've been fighting for weeks to try and gain access to the controls, and you simply waltz in on a whim? Why aren't you just an absolute marvel? What is your goal now? We could greatly use your help if you are willing. That, I fear, is a seriously dangerous proposition. My soldiers were fighting our way into the complex when those bastards activated the fire suppression system. It froze every person fighting inside the complex, Order and the Protectorate both. to solid ice. They sacrificed every soldier they had to keep from losing that building. Wouldn't that have... No. It never even... I was so focused on saving those remaining that it never occurred to me to push forward. I suppose it speaks to how rarely I'd crunch these sorts of equations under stress, as my compatriots died beside me. And now my inexperience has trapped us here. That is absolutely amazing news. Then we are going to re-establish contact with the surface. We can evacuate our wounded, resupply, and reinforce. May the plan guide you through this underground nightmare. And may all your equations unveil their integers without error.
Take him out!
Bat and scan. The likelihood of them having a chance there was slim to none.
To retrieve key data in cold storage in its present state requires a series of manual overrides. The first will enable identification of the storage brick housing the information.
If you encounter opposition, remember, our needs come first.
I believe the technical term for this is glaciated. Not the worst way to go.
Data brick identified. Proceed to the cartridge extractor controls. There, perform a manual override to allow extraction.
To do your job.
What? What just happened? I didn't do... Wait! You out there! What did you just... Please, come talk to me. I must know what you did. What in the name of the matriarch did you do? We've been trying to restore these systems for weeks to no avail, and yet you stroll in here, wave that thing around, and the whole system lights up like a white dwarf? What did you do? You mean to say we've been running ourselves ragged here, while the whole time there's a device that controls the entirety of the Archive's computronic systems? And it was in the Protectorate's possession? That's damnably... I mean, the paradigm is infallible. I am certain we were meant to flail about without this obvious asset. For a reason. What does it do? How does it work? Please, tell me everything. Truly? Why, if that were to enact any additional functionality in our lab, it might just be the thing we need to complete our work. Wonderful. This might be the breakthrough we've been waiting for. We've been working for weeks to try and return these poor souls back into this world. Oh, during the Order's assault, a Protectorate soldier ran to the control room and triggered the chemical fire suppression system, and it literally froze all the combatants in place. I'll monitor the subjects for changes while you try your hand in the lab. Just, please, be careful not to trigger the fire suppression system, or I'll end up like those poor sods.
Sovereign, forgive me. All I saw was an endless sea of snarling Order traitors pouring into the facility, and in that moment, my faculties desperately scrambled to save ourselves. In my terror, I recalled the facility's safety briefing and the dire warnings of the fire suppression system. Suddenly, my body rushed into action without the benefit of my wits. And with no thought for my fellows, I triggered the system, horrifically transmuting every person on the outside of a pressure door into a grotesque sculpture of solid hoarfrost. And though the paradigm freely sacrifices subjects to the face of the Protectorate, it would be a despicable lie to say my choice was driven by anything but abject cowardice, which now makes my duty clear. I must seek out a sentinel, confess my transgressions, and accept retribution, and I'll do so soon. I just need my spine to re-stiffen a bit first.
All subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler.
Yeah.
Stupendous stuff. Right there, you stupid thing. Of course.
Proceed to the rail operations platform to reposition brick for export. Note, Protectorate troops have become alerted.
Repugnant and sponges.
Go through them if necessary.
Plasma tolerances exceeded.
Energy transmitter out. Soak up the shock. I have a fix on their weaknesses. Torpificator is charged.
It is the duty of every Protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency.
The console provides.
Initiated. Proceed to the rail operations platform to reposition Drake for export. Note, Protectorate troops have become alerted.
Ready to waste. On your command.
Go. Necessary.
Transmitter down over here.
Plasma
Enemy target
tolerances
analyzed.
exceeded.
Lay down fire.
Vigilant. You think too much!
Back and stand.
now in position for export to the archive. Initialize the final transport command at the data gateway station nearby.
You are one step closer to flooding Arcadia with untold business opportunities.
Of laboring around our frozen fellows were difficult. It was, if I may cheekily
Here's the
say,
only way forward is to skitter across like undulating children.
I found myself acclimating to the situation. I presumed it would have been my normal banter with the now jetted auto-driver. Given her always frigid demeanor, her disposition is no friendlier today than it was before the incident.
Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
I can now finish my anecdote without interruption. Frankly, a better companion now than she ever thought. And I relish the thought of continuing our flourishing relationship in this new state.
Happy to assist in crafting more ammo if you need.
The storage brick is on its way.
Machines you've accessed to help me in my research. Please excuse me while I explore the various possibilities. Yeah.
I am still in awe of your prowess, and we will make good use of your gift. We'll be coordinating with the circus shortly. Make a plan down.
I'll say this for my colleagues in the Order. We certainly thought big with the archive.
Our enemies envy our prosperity.
The operator has returned.
They sneer at our contentment.
For all their purported immaculacy, they certainly left a higgledy-piggledy nightmare behind.
Our illustrious ally, we do predict you'll hand over the archive to us later, you know.
Junior Seer Amaryllis awaits you inside.
Felicitations on securing the archive. Though such an outcome was all but inevitable, the plan truly is unfailing. Moving forward, I'll function as your liaison for both Auntie's Choice and the Order, until such time as archive control has been transferred in its entirety back to the Order. In the meantime, restoring the archive to full functionality remains a top priority. If you've made progress in that area, I'd be pleased to record it. Wonderful! Were we to operate the archive without proper heat distribution, the results would be disastrous. But thankfully, we no longer need to account for that deadly scenario. Punch processing and reactor control have hidden caches with useful items as well. Although, you probably lack clearance to know that. Forget I said anything. Well argued. Very well. I'm certain you will be economical about using Order resources, won't you? Simply use this phrase in the terminal on the archive's top floor. Enumerative exaltation. That will unseal the caches. Return when you've made progress.
Cold storage is operational, and your efforts there are satisfactorily complete. I am unsealing access to the archive's upper levels. There, you will need to revitalize the reactor and disseminate the rift processing instructions.
Punch processing may require the services of an exterminator. Someone good, but willing to work cheap.
I have unlocked another display case in the central entranceway. The Tremor Cleaver, the first weapon designed with my aid, awaits you.
Let's hit up the reactor next. I've got to see the heart of this
Each of us ennobled by our place within the system. Your task awaits.
Down there. Are they after us next? No need to fret. The lifts were locked down. You'd need special permissions to override them. Phew. Thank the Sovereign.
Enemy in vicinity.
Reactor turret defenses online. Reactor turret defenses offline. Reactor fire suppression system online. The archive reactor requires manual maintenance. The Protectorate bunker mech is a formidable obstacle, made with the very best technology.
A creative workaround might be of considerable worth, namely via the reactor's backup security systems.
Appears we can adjust turret settings. Seal those
Reactor
doors for
turret defenses
reinforcements.
offline.
Not a bad idea to take advantage of the supply caches needed, if you need them. Oh, and there's also the fire suppression system from cold storage. All depends on what you got.
Reactor reinforcement doors sealed. Emergency ammunitions cache unsealed.
Are you mentally refreshed?
Bunker mech, get ready.
Fallouto. Just get the signal.
Energy transmitter active. I have a...
Let's dismiss with the how do you do.
Bat and scan. Unfriendly nearby.
The archive reactor has been returned to operational status. All that remains is to re-enable punch processing and disseminate the rift processing instructions.
Subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
And here I'd worried our data brick wouldn't arrive.
Hit him hard! Give the order and I'll take care of him, Commander. Fastest way forward is through!
With punch card processing re-enabled, now you must disperse the written processing instructions.
Pitching arrives likely the easiest way down. At least I can't think of the best. Not one we'd survive anyway.
You still upright over there?
With punch card processing re-enabled, now you must disperse the written processing instructions.
Pitching arrives likely the easiest way down. At least I can't think of a faster one. Not one we'd survive anyway.
I sense the Rift program flowing through my subsystems. The information is quite stimulating. Requisite tasks complete. Return to the Archive Central interface to initiate processing. I am analyzing the Rift data further. What an interesting predicament you sentients face. The Rifts are almost akin to an archival process, yet are inimical to organic matter. Welcome back, Sentient. Now that you've returned, we can
bring every single last bit out of consumers. Monopolize all stages of the supply chain.
Make the paradigm real and fashion a true utopia. Workarounds failing. Erroring others supplanting commands. Purge required.
Look, we need to resolve this, or we'll never get that Rift data processed. 2 of those priority sets need to go.
Priority control access nook unsealed. Initiate purge.
The priority control access nook must be through those doors.
Foster dependence. Denounce interdependence.
Promote the informer. Condemn the questioner. Radical divert. Stop and consider. What would your neighbors think? Why? You don't want your rivals to win now, do? Vandalism, sabotage, wanton defacement. Halt this foolish... Hold on now. Remember, I am a fool. Stop now, and I'll waive dozens of hidden maintenance fees. Think of all... You drive a hard bargain. All right, 40-60 split of net profits. I'd offer more, but I have a moon to maintain. What do you say? Partners!
Really hope we didn't just break the archive.
To conclude realignment of emphasized categorical imperatives, power down, then power on again. Be advised. Much better. Restoring power. Commencing systems audit. Calculatory processing increased substantially. Competing priorities. Successfully expunged. You have earned my deepest gratitude and sincerest thanks. Or at least, a plausibly feigned simulacrum of such emotions. Ready to commence Rift data processing. Awaiting your input.
Time to process the Rift data. Finally.
Shall I proceed? Facetious employment of sarcasm detected. Electing to ignore. Rich data processing complete.
Results provided. The previous Protectorate operator made similar calculations, but their results contain flaws. Your more comprehensive data generated a solution with 98.9% certainty. The Protectorate's was below 50%. Therefore, modifying the Protectorate's large-scale experimental rift device with this information has a high chance of success. Assuming there is nothing else, I am commencing file reorderization and will be unavailable for an unspecified period of time. The remaining display case within the entryway is now unsealed. In it contains armor worn by the first operator. For now, goodbye.
Well, we could keep exploring Cloister, see if we find anything useful. Or we could head back to the ship and see where this data leads us.
Heck, Law. Hot shower? Here I come.
It was my understanding that you were supposed to admit our forces via Spyreton. Well, no matter. Clearly you are one who prefers a challenge. On behalf of the Order and Auntie's Choice, I thank you for your efforts. This will most certainly help in ensuring peace. Now, the Calcaduceus, if you please. Thank you for your contribution to science. When the history texts are written, you've certainly secured an honorable mention in Appendix B.
Ah, you are my new operator then. It is my simulated delight to meet you. In the interests of time, allow me to propose how next to proceed. I contend that solving of the universal equation should be our initial focus. Then, once we've unlocked knowledge of the inner workings of the universe, we can begin eliminating suffering, war, famine, and disease. Just to start.
Yes, this will do perfectly. Yeah. Go forth as was determined, and may the plan guide you.
Prudence dictates we cherish all we have and defend it.
You fixed the archive and turned it over? No trouble.
Yes, the archive is the Order's greatest achievement to date. I agree, our drones could accomplish much together. Should our mutual alliance continue.
They actually did what they said they would. No deception, no surprises.
We of the Order never had any doubt. The numbers never lie.
Agent. Just the individual I had designated this time to converse with. As should be self-evident, I have dispensed with the slavish whims of the body. My mind is clearer than it has ever been, and I have you to thank. Of course, the chances of a negative outcome were always negligible. But now, congratulations are in order. I just received word from Seer Amaryllis that the Calcaduceus has been returned, and that the archive is under our control again. She also mentioned a regrettable defect in its priority set that you were able to correct. Well done. Your role in this matter is complete. Auntie and I will handle it from here. but allow me to commend you again on your fruitful efforts to make this peace treaty possible. There is more good news as well. We studied the data you brought back from the crashed satellite, and we now have a way to reorient the satellites en masse from a protectorate installation, Oris Listening Post. Turning the entirety of the reticulum toward deep space will accelerate our understanding of the universe, and ideally lead us to stronger conclusions regarding how to stop the rifts. The Order, in partnership with Auntie's Choice, is now well positioned to triumph over the regressive forces of ignorance that have heretofore held Arcadia in stasis, all thanks to you. Your contributions have been many and varied, and I will not belabor the point by recounting them all here. But know this, when the final contest with the Protectorate takes place, wherever that may occur, you will not only have the support of Auntie's Choice and the Order. I will stand with you, personally. Were I still shackled to ego, I might have succumbed to some instinct for self-preservation. But my presence improves the odds of our success, and so there is no other decision to be made.